You know what I've been noticing a lot lately? Most men aren't actually weak. They're just distracted. And distraction is dangerous because doesn't look like a problem. You can be the busiest bloke in the room, juggling work and gym and family stuff and maybe even a side hustle, and it feels like you're doing well, like you're on track. But underneath all of that, there's this quiet emptiness that you just can't quite shake. It's almost like you've built this big, impressive life on paper, but when you finally stop moving, even just for a second, you realize you're not actually present in any of it. And I've been there, hitting the so-called milestones, decent money coming in, relationship, some kind of routine that makes you look like you've got your act together, and yet I'd still find myself lying in bed at night thinking, why does it feel like something's missing? Why am I still so restless? And it's not because life's bad. Sometimes it's because you've ticked all the boxes you thought would make you happy and you're still in the same place internally. And that's the part that no one tells you about. You can do everything right and still feel completely lost. And I think part of the problem is we all got sold this checklist for what a successful life looks like. Make decent money, find a partner, buy some shit, go on a holiday now and then, post the right photos so everyone knows you're doing fine. And don't get me wrong, like none of that's bad. It's just not the whole picture. Because here's the thing, you can do all of that. You can tick every single box and still be the same bloke you were 5 years ago. Same doubts, same habits, same emptiness. You just dressed it up with nicer clothes and a better car. When I hit some of my early goals, I thought, right, this is it. This is the part where I'll finally feel like I've arrived. And for about, 2 weeks, yeah, it felt good. And then life just went back to normal. That's when it clicked for me. Success, at least the way that we've been told to chase it, is mostly a distraction in disguise. It keeps you busy chasing the next thing so you don't have to face the bigger question. What actually matters to me? Who do I actually want to be? And that's the scary part, because you can keep running for years and never have to answer it. And the crazy thing is, most of us aren't even aware we're distracting ourselves, because it's not like you wake up and think, oh, I'm going to avoid my own thoughts today. It's so much more subtle than that. We call it being busy or being productive, but half the time it's just noise to drown out the stuff that we don't want to face. And I'm not just talking about Netflix or scrolling on your phone, or that's a huge one though. But what I'm actually talking about is the stuff that looks healthy on the surface. Working long hours, chasing the next business idea, spending hours in the gym, constantly tweaking your morning routine or your diet. Those things can all be great, but they can also be the perfect excuse to never stop and ask yourself, am I actually happy? Because stillness is uncomfortable. If you slow down, you might have to admit that you're not where you want to be. You might have to see all the places that you've been settling. And for a lot of blokes, man, that's fucking scarier than just grinding through every other week. So we fill every gap in the day with something, anything, just so we never have to sit in silence and hear what's really going on in our mind. And one of the big reasons a lot of men get stuck up in that distraction loop is because no one ever taught us how to lead ourselves. For some, that came from having no dad around at all. For others, the dad was there physically, but emotionally, nothing. You never saw a man who owned his life, made fucking decisions with conviction, and showed you what that looked like day to day. And it's not about blaming them, because most of our fathers were just doing the best they could with what they knew. But when you grow up without that example, you learn to wait. Wait for someone else to give you permission. Wait for someone to tell you it's the right time. Wait until it feels safe before you act. And that just bleeds into everything. Your relationship, your work, the way you see yourself. You end up avoiding responsibility because deep down you don't trust yourself to handle it. You tell yourself, I'll step up when, but that when never comes. In relationships, this is brutal, because if you're waiting for your partner to respect you before you're leading, then you've already lost the frame. Respect isn't given out of charity. It's earned through consistent action and presence. And most men never break that cycle because it's easier to stay busy than to face the reality that you have been coasting. Here's the thing, when you don't have that grounded sense of leadership in yourself, you'll usually try and fake it. And that's when the bravado comes in, the loudness, the overcompensating, the constant need to make sure everyone knows that you're confident. It's that bloke who can't stop talking about his wins, who's always on, because silence feels like weakness. But real confidence, that's the opposite. It's quiet, it's calm, it doesn't need to prove anything because it's not built on other people believing in you. It's built on you believing in you. Women pick up on that difference fucking instantly, and so do other men. You can't trick anyone for long. You can be loud and successful and charismatic, but if you're not grounded, people will feel it. And that's the part that so many guys don't get. It's not about making the room think you're confident. It's about walking into the room already knowing you are, whether other people notice it or not. The gap between bravado and real confidence usually comes down to one thing: responsibility. Most blokes think that discipline is the magic bullet. And yeah, discipline fucking matters. But discipline without responsibility, that's just routine. It's ticking boxes without actually steering your life anywhere. Responsibility is different. It's ownership. It's saying, this is mine to handle, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you could easily let someone else deal with it. But the problem is, responsibility means pressure, and pressure means there's no one to blame but you if it goes wrong. So many men just dodge it. They let their partner take the lead at home. They avoid the hard decisions at work. They wait for the right time to go after what they actually want. And yeah, that feels easier in the short term, sure. But the long-term cost, that's massive. You lose self-respect, you lose trust in yourself, you lose the respect of the people around you, even if they don't say it out loud. But responsibility is what gives you freedom. It's what lets you walk into any situation knowing, I've got this. Without it, you're always going to be looking over your shoulder, wondering if someone's going to find out that you're just keeping yourself busy instead of actually building something real. So here's the question I want you to walk away with. If I stripped away your job, your money, and your relationships, then who are you? Not the titles, not the stuff that you've collected, not the version of you that you show people online, just you. Now, if your stomach drops a little when you think about that, then good. Because that's the sign there's work to do. Because the man you are when everything's taken away, that is the foundation. That's the version you've got to be proud of before you start stacking the rest on top. And look, here's the part that no one wants to hear. No one's going to come and do the work for you. Not your partner, not your boss, not your mates. If you're stuck in distraction mode, waiting for the right time, or just hoping life just lines up, you'll wake up one day and realize you've been on autopilot for decades. So I challenge you to do the opposite. Strip it back, cut the noise, and take ownership of one thing today that you've been avoiding. It doesn't matter if it's a conversation or a decision or a habit that you've been putting off. Just start small, but start now. Because here's the truth. You don't build real confidence from a plan. You build it from proving to yourself over and over that when it's on you, you show up. I'll see you tomorrow.